So,
late night, but doing good.
Awesome. You want to tell the pretty people your names and your roles, I guess, in Team 4 Star?
Hi, I'm Nick Landis, Lanipator of Team 4 Star, co-writer, co-creator, co-founder, and co-star. I play the voices of Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, Master Roshi, Shenron, and Mr. Popo.
My name is Anthony Sardinha. I voice in Team 4 Star. I play Captain Ginyu, Dodoria, Salza, Nikki, and I'm going to be playing Hercule. I'm also the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Abridged.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, guys. The floor is open.
Joshua Altabelli from WCCA TV. I'm guessing that you guys all live like far away from each other.
Yes.
Does that ever have an effect on like the production or what?
Luckily, with the internet being what it is today, it's really easy to get in contact with anybody from all across, not only North America, but the world. The three writers, myself, Scott Frericks, and Curtis Arnott, we're actually from like complete different corners of the continent. Curtis lives up in British Columbia. Scott lived for the most part down in Louisiana. Now he lives in Dallas, and I live up in like Minneapolis. So we're always coordinating Skype calls. We set up meetings, things like that. The internet has made things like this so much easier to do. I mean, there are projects getting thrown together with people who have never met each other in person. In fact, we didn't meet each other in person until 2009 at a convention. So.
Wow.
I had a question. I just want to start by saying, I love Team 4 Star. It's freaking awesome. Thank you. When I'm watching Dragon Ball Z, well, I assume you guys have seen the old Dragon Ball Z, otherwise you wouldn't be doing this.
No, not a single episode.
Well, when I watch it, I sort of feel like it's a show, like a different show entirely. And I was just curious about the creative process of writing the script for the show.
Sure. Basically, with the process, we basically start by watching whatever episodes we're going to cover in our next episode. Usually we cover about 2.5 to 3 episodes per abridged episode. While we're watching through it, we're doing our little Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing of coming up with like little riffs or little jokes. If we see something in the footage that we can really work with, or if we hear a line in like whichever dub we're watching, normally it's the Funimation dub. Support the official release. We find something to either riff on that, and we write down the little jokes that we come up with, and usually if they're good enough, we like keep them in the normal script, and then we basically start our text document from there, and we build between those pieces, going from beginning to end, working around the larger jokes first, because you need a big laugh every now and again, or else what's a parody? But yeah, we just work through that way. In terms of who writes what for the series, Scott, he's usually the more dialogue kind of guy. Like, he's very good at back and forths. I myself, I kind of do a lot of like the big one-liners. And Curtis, he's kind of the big joke guy. He shoots like a lot of jokes out there during the scripting session. He's just bam, 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 bam. Not all of them stick. But the ones that do are usually really good, and we usually work around those, and yeah, that's kind of how the process works for us. Yes, sir?
Troy Ackman, W Media Spotlight. Recently you added Let's Plays as the characters.
Mm-hmm.
What gave you the idea for that, and do you play the game before you and script the jokes after, or do you come up with it while you're playing the game?
For what kind of started the idea of that, I mean, I've always enjoyed doing Let's Plays. I've done Let's Plays since before I started doing them in character anyway, on my own private channel and things like that. But I decided doing them basically because there's a good chunk of time between our episodes, because the episodes take, the actual like Dragon Ball Z abridged episodes take a decent chunk of time to make. The writing process usually takes a couple of weeks, then getting people's lines in takes an additional week, and then the editing that Scott has to go through takes like probably at least 100 and something work hours for him. So it's a process. So I decided to start doing them to basically start filling in the gaps there, give people something else to watch while we're, working on the actual episodes. As for how I go through them, I studied a lot of improv in high school and college, so staying in character and going through something is pretty easy for me. I don't play through and then script it because it just feels kind of unnatural and very synthetic to me. So by going through, playing it, and just reacting as things go on, granted sometimes that doesn't always yield for the biggest laughs at times, but it just feels more natural, and it's, frankly, it's quicker and easier. Yes?
Sarah from Mopower.com. Since you both do voice work on the show, and obviously the show is incredibly hilarious, do you guys have any favorite lines or favorite jokes from any of the episodes?
One of my favorite lines to deliver is this moment in, I think it was episode 20, where Krillin gets kicked in the head by Raccoon. And I just love playing punch-drunk characters, especially punch-drunk Krillin. The line basically, Gohan walks up to him to see if he's okay. "Hello, Gohan! Have you done your homework? Because if not, Chi-Chi will kick my ass!" I don't know, that one always just kind of sticks out to me.
I remember when Android 16 was introduced, he said something and I just died laughing because I knew it was like, "Hello, something about killing, are we going to kill Goku now?" It was like, yeah, okay. And like, just that whole, just that character in general is funny to me, and I'm excited for like whatever lines are gonna come up.
16 is going to be a lot of fun. Yes?
How do you, Stephanie from TV Korea Media, how do you decide which games you're going to play for Renegade for Life, and which of the ones that you played is your favorite?
I like these gaming questions. It makes me feel like my work is fulfilling. Sometimes it's kind of hard to decide. Basically what I do for Renegade for Life is the stuff that I can't do for Two Saints Play. For those out there who don't know, Renegade for Life is a series of games in which I play as Vegeta. They're kind of clipped down more than they are for a full Let's Play. I edit down to basically the best of footage I recorded. And Two Saiyans Play is where Vegeta and Nappa play video games in the same vein. So for Vegeta, it's more along the lines of I need to find a game that he's either going to find super awesome or find very, very tedious. Because those are going to yield the best reactions out of him. Or super frustrating. Frustrating is also fun. In this case, I'm actually currently in the middle of editing Rogue Legacy, which should be pretty good because that game gets a little frustrating at times. It's basically a game designed around, okay, keep dying until you get better. And those are some fun games for that kind of thing, especially things that have like one-hit kills or like you just can't dodge things. That just makes Vegeta all frustrated and angry. Yes?
Hi, Keiko from Cosplay and Lexi Magazine. I'm a really big fan of you guys.
Thank
I love
you.
your work. Question is, I know Curtis does a lot of cosplay, especially as Loki. Have you guys ever done any cosplay, or do you guys like any cosplays that you guys see in conventions?
I love cosplay, and the people who are able to do it, like the people, especially the people who make their own stuff, they come out so elaborate. I just applaud them. I have never had the time or the money to actually, do one for myself. Actually, a friend of mine made me once I started growing out the beard, he made me the Steven Universe shirt because all I ever tend to wear are like shorts and flip-flops at these things. So he's like, "You look kind of like a grown-up Steven Universe." I'm like, "Okay, that'll be my cosplay." But yeah, Curtis, he loves to cosplay. I'm pretty sure his Loki costume cost him like a couple $1,000. That's his dedication, I'll tell you that much. And he just loves going to conventions, getting his picture taken, and just like, he'll be stopped for like hours at a time when he's at like PAX or something like that with that on. How about you, man?
Right now I'm actually cosplaying as Shardus from Attack on Titan. so there's that. Like, I personally don't cosplay, but like I really appreciate all the people who do, because that's just so much time and effort and dedication and artistic like passion just put in for like 3 days, maybe 2 days. I love seeing the very obscure cosplays. Like you see like the bunch of people who are like the Frozens and the Attack on Titans and the Homestuck, and then there's the one person who just stands out from something that you've seen and probably everyone else is like, what is that? I saw someone who was dressed up as the cop from the Lego movie. And I was like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah. You sir with the hat.
Charles from Full Coverage Writers. Out of curiosity, for the Krillin plays, is there a game that you would not play?
One game that I've actually found kind of intimidating, like I don't normally get scared playing games, but I tried this one out once. SCP Containment Breach is actually like one of those games that's actually kind of hard for me to get through. There's like a certain level of stress where it's like, okay, I need to keep this thing in my line of sight or I am going to die. And it's not so much that I'm like scared of the situation, it's just like, I don't want to screw up, I don't want to screw up, I don't want to screw up. It's one of those things where it's like, I kind of want to be able to get through the game in order to play it. And that one I found a little difficult at times, because you're just running through the hallways and all of a sudden you just die because you weren't looking at the thing that was in the corner of the room you just entered. Yeah.
We have time for one more question.
Okay. Yeah, would you like to pick somebody?
Yeah, sure. The guy in blue.
John from Matt Conleth. When are you guys going to crown the new tag team champion?
The belt is sitting on my wall as we speak. I am a retired champion. And yeah, that's the way that's going to work out.
Worked for Mick Foley.
Yeah. I actually got it signed by Mick Foley and Jim Cummings. Pretty much anybody I attribute as being part of my childhood, I tried to get it signed by. Unfortunately, I didn't bring it this weekend. I would have loved to have Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche sign it.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Everyone, Team 4-Star!